Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are having a great day. So today I'm going to be doing a video about my bladder Botox and my experience with it. I wanted to make this video, first of all, for somebody who may be looking into getting bladder Botox and wants to know more information about it. But I also wanted to make it for you guys because a lot of you guys have been asking for updates and how it's been affecting me, what it is, and all that jazz. So I wanted to make this video to kind of explain the situation and explain what bladder Botox is and everything so that you guys are aware. So as I mentioned before, part of my spinal cord injury means that I lost bladder function. When I first got injured, I didn't know that I needed to see a urologist, and I was struggling for a really long time. I was going pee about every hour, but I was still leaking, and so it became very, very frustrating. It became something that was definitely dragging me down in my personal life because I really had to plan around it. I had to make sure that I wasn't drinking a lot when I would go out, like not alcohol, but like just water in general, and I really had to watch everything that I did because I didn't want to pee my pants. And even though I was peeing every hour, I was still leaking. And so once I found out that I needed to start seeing a urologist, the urologist that I see now, he put me in for testing because I told him that I was peeing every hour, but I was still leaking and still peeing my pants, and that's not something that's normal. That's not something that should be happening. So with the first test, when my results came back, they basically told me that if I didn't do something quick, I was going to go into kidney failure because what was happening is my bladder was spasming, and so it was making me leak out urine, but because my urethra wasn't opening, I wasn't getting all of that urine out that my bladder was trying to push out, and so the urine was washing back up into my kidneys, which was putting a ton of strain on my kidneys and was what was eventually going to cause me to have kidney failure. I'm only 23. I was 22 at the time when I heard this, and that's honestly so scary to hear at any age, but I was like terrified. We started changing my medicine. We upped the dosage. We played with it a little bit, and I came back every 6 months for testing. Even with the medicine changes, my bladder was still spasming. It was still putting a lot of strain on my kidneys, and something had to be done. I had heard about bladder Botox through some of my other spinal cord injury friends, and my urologist had asked me what I thought about it and if I would be interested in possibly doing that if my insurance approved it, because I was a good candidate for it. I honestly didn't expect my insurance to cover it because I am on state aid, and they tend to not cover a lot of that stuff. They usually tell me no, but I was approved. It took a while to get approved, but I was approved, and about a month after I got approved is when I went in for the surgery. Now, my urologist had never done this procedure before. This was his first time, and it was also my first time doing it. So this example is going to be a little bit more extreme than how it's going to be for maybe you guys or the general person. Because it was my first time and because it was his first time, they wanted to make sure that they were doing everything that they could to make sure that I was going to be as safe as possible. I did have my bladder Botox done at a hospital. Generally, they can do it outpatient. I was knocked under. I was put under anesthesia, and I was knocked out for the surgery. Normally I wouldn't have to be, but they didn't know my sensation level, and something that could happen when you're doing procedures like this is my blood pressure could spike or it could go really low, and what I've been told is that they can control it a little bit better when I'm put under. The surgery probably, well, I'm saying surgery, but it was actually a procedure. The procedure took probably about 20 minutes to actually do it. The longest point is obviously getting set up, getting me into the room, making sure everything is ready for the doctor. My doctor put about 30 shots of Botox into my bladder. When I woke up, I wasn't actually in pain. The only thing that hurt was my throat because they did put a tube down my throat to make sure that I was breathing, and that caused me a lot of pain, which is one of the reasons I'm still sick, because it triggered my sinuses or something. That was the only pain that I had. I ended up getting out of there fine. I was able to transfer. I wasn't in any pain in my actual stomach or in my bladder. The only pain I had was in my throat. They did give me an antibiotic in my IV during the procedure, and they gave me an antibiotic afterwards to make sure that I didn't have any sort of infections happening. After my surgery, I was free to go home. It was an in and out thing. I didn't have to stay in the hospital or anything like that. I did have some cramping when I got home that lasted for probably about 2 or 3 weeks after my surgery. The paper said that it should only last about 2 to 3 days. The only other side effect that I noticed is I did have a little bit of bleeding bleeding when I would go to wipe. It wasn't anything like drastically. They did say that was normal, obviously, because they put shots in my bladder, so it was something to be expected, but it wasn't anything bad. I didn't experience any sort of negative consequences or side effects from the Botox. The Botox was actually so easy to go through. That night, I did not sleep at all because during the procedure, I'm told that they fill your bladder up with like saline or something like that so they can see it expanded. And so that night, I could not stop peeing. I didn't sleep very well because I was peeing so much. And so that first night was kind of hectic because of that, but it wasn't anything that I hadn't experienced before because I was peeing so much. The bladder Botox, well, Botox in general takes about a week to kind of see the full effects. So even in after that first night, I wasn't having any sort of leaking, but I was noticing that I had to go to the bathroom about every 1 to 2 hours. Now that I've had my procedure for about a month, I am able to go about 4 to 5 hours depending on what I've drank. Sometimes I can go longer, sometimes it's shorter, but I'm not having any sort of accidents. I haven't leaked since the night of the procedure, and in the future I will be able to just go into my urologist's office, have it done there, and go home. I won't have to be put under anything like that. I do have to get the bladder Botox done every 6 months if it is affecting me positively. I haven't went back for any more testing on my bladder and my kidneys yet. I will be doing that later in March, so I'll know how exactly the pressure and everything is with my kidneys, but so far I'm loving it. I'm so thankful that I went through with the procedure and that my doctor recommended it for me because it's been a complete lifesaver. I'm not having to rush to the bathroom. I'm not having to worry about peeing my pants when I go out places. I'm able to drink as much as I possibly want so that I'm staying hydrated, because that was something else that I was dealing with. I was often getting dehydrated because I wasn't drinking very much, and so it kind of just was like a huge circle of mess. So that was my experience with bladder Botox. Overall, it was a very positive experience, and like I said, so thankful that I went and got it done because it's been a life-changing experience for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't subscribed, please do so. Make sure you check out the description box for all my social media links, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!